To do arithmetic sequences, we need to know what the difference is between one number to the next. So if I subtract the second number, -2, and minus with a -4, I get 2. I do the same thing for the next one, so I'll take 0 and I subtract it with the -2, and I also get 2. And if I do it for the next one, 2 minus 0, I get 2. If the numbers are exactly the same in the sequence, then it is an arithmetic sequence. Now with fractions, we need to find a common denominator. In this case, the common denominator is 16 because that's our highest fraction. So this is 8/16, this is 10/16, this is 12/16, and this is 13/16. If you look at from each number on the numerator, it goes up by 2 until we get here, which only goes up by 1. So this is not a sequence. This is a sequence, and this is not a sequence. So if we're trying to find the next 3 terms of a sequence, we need to know if we have a sequence. So if I go and subtract my 9 from my 15, I get a -6. And if I take my 3 and subtract it from 9, I get a -6. And if I go from the next one, -3 minus 3, I get a -6. So I have a sequence, so I'm going down by -6 each time. So if I take my next term, -3, and I add a -6 to it, I will get my next term, which would be -9. Then I take -9 and add the -6. So I'm adding basically the difference, and I get a -15. And if I take -15 and add the -6, I get a -21. So this would be the next 3 terms. If we're writing a sequence when we don't know one of the terms, we use this formula that's up here that we've given to you. So we're trying to find an nth term. But A1 we do know, it's the first term. This is A1, so that's a -12. And we're going to add that, and we don't know n, but we do know the difference. If I take my -8 and minus a -12, I get 4. And I could have done the same thing with the others, and I get 4. So my difference is 4. Now all I'm going to do is solve for n. So this is n equals -12, and I'm going to distribute, which gives me 4n minus 4. Then I'm going to combine like terms. These two things are like terms because they have the same letter. So my equation ends up as 4n minus 16. Or you can write it as -16 plus 4n. It makes no difference which one was written first. Both of these are the correct answer. Now, if we want to find the 9th term, now we can do the same formula, but now that there's a 9 with the a, and we have our first term is -12, and since 9th is our n, I can go 9 minus 1. I already know my difference is 4. So to find the 9th term, I can now just do PEMDAS. And PEMDAS means I'm going to take 9 minus 1, which is 8, and I'm going to multiply it by 4, because that's parentheses, then multiplication, so that's 32. And I'm going to add that to a -12. And when I do that math, I will get 20. So the 9th term will be 20. And so there's the answer to finding the nth term.